Phil Selman is here, and this is the first time that Florentine and Phil have
I haven't
seen
seen
each
Phil
other
probably like 15 years.
No, I think I may have saw you at a party where you blew me off. Probably.
He's got the same outfit on as fucking 15 years ago, the black T-shirt and the jeans.
And you do too. I want to start off by saying I saw the Irishman. Very nice work there, Jim.
Thanks, Phil. Thank you. Yes, I was happy they left me in.
Yes.
That's all I
Phil,
cared about was making it in.
Do you feel like the reason that Florentine has not seen you in as long as he's seen you, because he was talking
Who
before
is
you...
this? Is this a long?
He's right there.
Oh, you can't see it. Sam is on. He's my co-host. He's in Chicago.
Oh, he's in Chicago
for today. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in Chicago today, Phil. It's good to see you
Good
again,
to see
though.
you too.
Do you think, because Florentine, before you came in, I'm surprised, before you came in, Florentine was like, oh, I can't wait to see Phil, like, it's been 15 years, but it sounds more like the reason he hasn't seen you in all those years is because he just doesn't give you the time of day.
Well, there was an incident with Jim I will bring up. We went
Please do.
We went to Amsterdam. Actually, we went to Kuwait together.
Did you?
To perform for you. Remember, and he brought you back a shirt, I recall. You guys were still living together. That was in January of 2001. We went to perform for the troops in Kuwait. And on the way back, we got to stop in Amsterdam. And when we were there, you remember this, Jim? Remember this?
remember.
Yeah, yes. And Jim had a piece of space, because I got high, and I actually apologized for any inappropriate behavior. And that was probably the last time and the first time I ever apologized for any inappropriate behavior. He goes, I have to try this stuff. So he eats a piece of space cake and he's singing and dancing down the streets. Then 20 minutes later, he goes, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. He wasn't even talking. He wasn't even talking in his Florentine voice. He was talking like a little girl. I'm afraid. What's going to happen? I said, well, the worst thing that could happen is you'll die, but that's probably not going to happen because it was too early to go to hookers. We were there like early. The hookers with like one tooth were out at that time, and I wasn't high enough. And then we come back, and then he was supposed to do a gig for me the next day. And I believe it was back with the Opie and Anthony when there was that football. Remember there was some kind of a football thing?
XFL,
right,
yeah.
Right. So he canceled me at the last minute, and I sent him an email, and I said I should have let you die in Amsterdam, and I feel things have never been the same since. I didn't mean that. It was just part of the Phil Selman charm. Yeah. And Jim has never been the same since then. I felt he turned on me since then. You recall that, Jim?
Yeah, let me fill in the blanks. So we have a 6-hour layover in Amsterdam, come back from Kuwait. We perform for the troops over there. And Phil wants to get a hooker. And I wasn't interested in the hookers. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I said I wanted to go to a record store to get like import heavy metal records in Amsterdam.
I got to be honest, I would have enjoyed Phil's company more.
I know. That's all I wanted to do.
I really wanted to get high. It was high and a hooker, in alphabetical order.
Right, but there was a changeover with the hookers, like at 7 or 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
there was a changeover where they mop up all the places, clean them out. So you have to wait till like 9 o'clock to get a hooker, and we're there like 7:30. So Phil goes into a little.
A coffee shop.
To go get high, and I go, I'll take a little of that space cake or whatever. It was some hash cake, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't do drugs. So I took a little piece. I'm like, yeah, this would be fine. And next thing I know, I'm fucking flying. I'm like, all right, Phil, you're going to go get your hooker. I'm going to go to the record store. We'll meet up later.
No, you didn't want me to leave you. You were.
This was before I started tripping. So about a half hour, I'm fucking, I was dancing down the street.
Yeah, he was dancing.
And I don't dance.
Very, very
I don't dance ever.
No. And I never apologized, so that was good. But you do remember you got very scared.
Yeah, so then all of a sudden I started tripping about 40 minutes in. I'm out of my fucking mind. I'm seeing things. I'm freaking out. I'm like, Phil, you can't leave me. He's like, I'm going to get a hooker. I go, you can't leave me. Don't. And he just walked me around Amsterdam for like 3 hours.
Holding his hand.
Holding my hand. And he never got a hooker. We had to get back on a plane and go back to the States.
How long of a layover did you have?
We had about, I don't know, maybe it wasn't 6 hours. Maybe it was
5 hours. It was enough. That was basically my only reason for wanting to go to Kuwait, knowing that Amsterdam was halfway.
On the way home, yeah.
Yeah, he knew.
Each way, yeah.
Yeah, Phil knew on the way home he was going to get a hooker in Amsterdam. And I said, well, I'm going to go to these record stores where he goes there to get import heavy metal records. That's why I wanted to go. And Phil didn't get a hooker.
That's bullshit.
No, it's true.
They don't even have records in Europe. What are you talking about?
No, because we went to the store and it wasn't open yet. I was freaking. I'm like, all right, I'll go eat some hash cake with you. And I felt so bad on the way home because he was so mad at me on the flight from Amsterdam back to New York. That he didn't get a hooker. I was like, Phil, if you want me to jerk you off, and he fucking, I go, I'll just jerk you off.
You did jerk me off. You don't remember? You were so high.
I really felt like I should give him a hand job. That he was so mad that he couldn't get a hooker. He had to babysit me for like 3 hours.
How long of a flight is that high? Like, imagine if you're all paranoid and fucked up and you got to get back on a plane.
It's better when you're high. Everything is better when you're high.
No, it wore off about 3 hours. By the time we got back to the airport, I felt fine. It feels like, oh, now you feel fine.
And then he goes to me. Then he goes to me. I'm glad I'm with a professional. a professional drug addict, to be able to help him. But then, of course, I also remember the time. Remember when we went to West Virginia? Remember the time in West Virginia, and I met one of the most beautiful girls I have ever met. That blonde. Remember, and we were in, I think it was like Morgantown or something.
Right.
And remember then I'm like calling her, and then like she's not getting back to me, and it was like snowing and 4 degrees outside, and you go, I'm going to go outside. I don't want to be in here for this. Because I was unhappy. You remember that girl was gorgeous. She was a gorgeous blonde. You forgot that?
Yeah, I forget. Well, yeah. Well, I didn't get.
I don't even think he remembers me. I don't think Jim
He
Florentine.
forgets all your memories.
I
together.
don't. But you never.
I'm
hooked
the
up
one who
with
did
her.
the drugs, and he doesn't remember.
But
You
you
have a
didn't
good
hook
memory,
up with
though.
her, though.
Not that time. Then I did. When I came back again, I did. And then, of course, after that, don't ever contact me again. But that's a typical part for the course.
The girl said that?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, she was like married. It turned out she was married. Her husband was paralyzed. He went like parachuting out of a plane. So I knew he wasn't. I knew he wasn't going to come and get me. He wasn't going to hurt me. But the girl was gorgeous. God, this girl. I sent her like a Vermont teddy bear as a comedian with a leather jacket and a microphone.
Yuck.
And
She sent one in a wheelchair.
And then she sends me this letter. She goes, "My personal life is none of your business." I said, "Well, I guess having sex wasn't really part of the personal life either." But that was like one of the best-looking girls. She looked like Christina Applegate in her heyday, because you hooked up with one that was not as attractive.
Probably.
Shocker.
Sounds like
Shocker.
me.
Shocker.
Wait, you sent her a Vermont teddy bear?
Yes,
She
I
got
did.
mad?
What?
She got mad about that?
Yeah, she was mad because what happened was the second time when she came to see me after I had sex with her the first time, she brought another girl with her. And this girl was like wacky, and that was in my drinking days. So I just like said, "Oh, get that crazy fucking girl out of here. I just want to be with you." And then you're a horrible, horrible person, and the rest is history.
Phil, is it possible that it was you were putting more emotion behind it because she was so attractive that you were like, "Oh, I'll send her a Vermont teddy bear"?
No,
like,
I
this is
wanted
a
to get her
romantic-
back. I wanted to like have. I
Right.
did have sex with her. I did. She was gorgeous. This girl was like.
Right.
She was one of the best looking girls I ever.
But she was just using you for your body.
Of course she was. There's nothing wrong with that.
And Phil's charm on stage. Right,
But
she's-
so,
No, I remember.
So then
I remember
after-
going on tour with you, and I picked up some girl at a truck stop or something, and she came to the show. We were in like Pennsylvania
Probably.
somewhere.
That I don't remember, because you picking up a girl
Oh,
at a
so
truck
you don't
stop
remember
and-
that? You don't remember
Not
that?
at a truck stop, at a strip club. I think it might have been some cheesy strip club.
Probably.
Where it was like one stripper, and it was like
Look,
small
one thing
town.
with Phil, me and Jim got into business. Phil had a bunch of comedy rooms.
Him and Dennis Ross.
Yeah.
The late Dennis Ross.
Yeah, late Dennis Ross.
And me and Jim would work these rooms and basically cut our teeth in those rooms to make us better comics. They weren't good paying gigs, but I never cared. They were like $70.
Yeah,
We would
50,
headline
75.
$70 or $75.
That was like when you were like a DJ, I think. Were you
Yeah,
like
I was DJing early on.
Right,
yeah,
right.
The budget was like $600, and you paid a headliner
Only
$75.
occasionally.
But I didn't care. Like everyone,
No, I didn't either.
Phil had a bad reputation. We got in the business. They go, stay away from him and this other guy, Dennis Ross. They were
People
partners.
actually they said that.
Yeah, because they said you guys don't
I just
pay.
found that out for the first time. I never heard that before.
You and Dennis-
I knew there was things being said about me.
You and
God
Dennis
damn.
said it about each other.
Dennis was the unhealthiest man alive.
Yeah, he
Dennis.
was.
He was the unhealthy. And the last time I saw him, I said, "You got to lose weight, or you're going to die." And he got mad at me, and then he died. But anyway, these things will
Phil,
happen.
were you not paying people?
I was paying people.
Because the rumor was that you were not paying.
I always paid people. I didn't pay them a lot, but I paid them.
Yeah, he didn't pay a lot, but he paid, and I had no problem with it. I never had a problem with a booker as long as I'm making what I want to make. I don't give a shit what the other guy makes. So people would always badmouth Phil, like he's taking all the money, the big budget, whatever the budget
But
is.
I had
taking
Ross
most of
as
it.
a partner, and generally there was another agent involved, so it was all a lot of pieces coming out of the pie there. So it wasn't
Well, you knew
really-
that Phil was taking a lot of it when he would go, "Don't ask the club owner to get paid at the end of the night," because he didn't want the club to know how much we were getting paid.
That wasn't me. You're confusing me with some other shyster bookers. That's not me.
Look, I have nothing but great things to say about Phil. 'Cause
I know, but
then
even
why
if they
did you stop?
they weren't the best gigs. They were like
No,
shitty
they were-
sports
no, they were
bars or
terrible.
whatever.
They were tough.
Betty's Fireside was like the worst one of all of them.
Yeah.
I only did that once, and I actually did okay. That was a legendarily bad gig in Denville.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
And it's still there. I like every place that I don't perform at anymore to be out of business.
Yeah.
City Steam in Hartford finally closed.
Did it really?
I've been praying for years because they wouldn't bring me back there.
Did that close?
Yes, it did.
They used to be Brown and Thompson.
Yeah, it's done. They stopped.
There was a gig in
It's
Hartford called
done.
Brown and Thompson's.
For a
John
million-
Shula booked
million
it.
years. It was going for, I think it was 25 years that gig probably went for.
Yeah, when did it close?
Like a month ago.
Wow, the whole the
No,
business
the whole
closed.
the place is still there. It's going to become like some kind of a brewery or something.
Ah.
But no more comedy. But they have the Funny Bone in Manchester.
So that shut them down.
That shut them down finally. The Phil Selman curse finally hit.
Yeah,
Sometimes it takes a while.
It takes a while, but it happened.
It does.
So, Sam, Phil would be up on stage and he had his watch on. If he was featuring, he would do middle and he would do 30 minutes. And he would just he'd look at his watch like 9 times during the set. I have 20,
now I look at my watch 8 times.
He's like, I have 23 minutes left.
He would say that to the
He goes,
audience.
I still do that. That's part of my charm.
He goes, I hate all you, and I got 3 minutes left. And then he'd go into his next joke. It was the best.
Now, Phil, I mean, you guys. It seems like you and Florentine are all friends and everything. Why did the falling out happen? You think it's
because I canceled. When I said to him, you should die, I said, I should have let you die. Once again, I've said probably worse things to you, but for some reason that seemed to bother him. So
You took that personally, Florentine?
No.
Hey, no, because I remember you were working with Dice at the Beacon, and can you get me in? No, there are no free tickets available, and I know, and you wouldn't get me in there, and I said he's turned on me.
Wow, you didn't get him tickets?
You remember like when you I remember the time like when you were having your child, and I sent you a nice message. I said, do you know who the father is?
Oh, yeah.
And we went back and forth.
Yeah,
That's right. But how old is your kid now?
He's 9.
He's 9 years old.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 30 by now.
Have you ever come close? Are you in a
Come close to
relationship
what?
now? Kids
No.
or having?
I go to the Asian massage parlors in Flushing.
Oh, you do.
I have a whore named Jing Jing. I literally have a card like Subway. Every time I go there, she X's out one of the things, and the 10th time is free. I'm up to 3 times. True.
How much is it?
$120. I will not pay more than $120. That's the what I will
Does she
pay
give
for
you?
this.
Do you go for the full massage?
No, I don't need a massage. I just need to be blown and fucked.
Oh,
There's no massage. I can massage myself.
Right, but I like to. I'd rather massage first and then get
Yeah,
get
nice
the
massage.
No,
Relax.
if that's what you want, but I have priorities. I'm very busy. I've got to get prepared for my next time to come back here in 2 years. I'm a busy man. Phil Selman's a very busy man.
I feel so naive. I assumed it was just a massage and maybe at the end a hand release, but you're saying it's
You're
far
a
more
Jewish
than
guy. You've never been to a massage parlor? Come on.
He's not Jewish. He just looks Jewish.
He's not Jewish?
No,
that.
Sam's not Jewish.
No, I'm not.
No, he's actually
Oh,
anti-Semitic.
I don't like him anymore then. I thought he was a Jew.
No, he looks Jewish.
Okay.
Phil, I noticed I was looking at your Twitter because that's how you really got in touch with us. You were trying to get the Phil Selman Twitter army to gather up and let us know that you wanted to come back on the show.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you could have just asked. And
I
really
did.
went-
I have been asking. I thought I was Brennan. I
No.
thought I was Kevin Brennan.
Phil and I were going back and forth, and we'll make it happen. I'm glad to have Phil back.
I'm glad to be back. The only
But
man
here's
who's
my
ever
que-
helped me. Jim Norton is the only person in real show business that has ever helped me.
Why does nobody help you? Because you've worked with Chris Rock, you've worked with Adam Sandler, you've worked with Jerry Seinfeld. Why is Jim Norton the only one that's ever helped you?
Because Jim Norton is a saint and a god.
I see.
But you booked all these famous guys, right?
I've given up on Adam Sandler. I'm happy to say I have finally given up. And what pleases me is every time when I go to the movies, because I go to the movies a lot, and every time they show that coming attraction for that Cut Gems movies, people go, "He's not a serious actor. That's going to suck." And I get very pleased.
You're happy when
I'm
they
very
say
happy about that. Yes, yeah, Adam Sandler. I've given up on Adam Sandler, and I'm not chasing anybody anymore. I'm old now. My birthday was last week.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm somewhere between your age and Voss's age. We won't say exactly how old I am, but my car got hit on the day of my birthday, and I got sick.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I went to a birthday party for a friend who has the same birthday as mine. I come out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Somebody knocked my mirror off down on the Lower East Side. $500. I'm screaming at these 9 feet tall garbage men, "Who hit my fucking car? I'll kill you!" And they're like getting scared. I go into a bodega. "I'll kill every one of you motherfuckers. Who hit my car?" I thought somebody stole the mirror because the pack piece, because I'm paranoid, but it got hit. My body shop guy said it was hit. $500 that cost.
What'd you get for your birthday?
I bought myself an iPad.
That's nice.
Yeah, and that's
So your birthday cost you about $1,500.
no, it cost me $500. I bought it on Groupon. It was $140.
The iPad?
Yeah, the iPad. Yeah.
Is it a new one, a Pro?
It's like a reconditioned one. I just want to look at porn on it. I don't want to do anything. That way I don't have to. I can stay in the bed and jerk off without having to get up to the computer.
Smart.
Do you get your massages from Groupon too?
No, those are real massages. You don't want those.
So they suck and fuck for 120?
No, for 80 they'll suck and fuck you, but for the extra 40 they go the extra distance.
What's the extra
What's the
distance?
extra distance?
Intercourse. I must have intercourse. I can't come from a blowjob.
You really
I
can't?
cannot come from a blowjob. No. Unless it was Jim Florentine or Artie Fletcher.
You can stay hard in a condom?
Huh?
You can stay hard in a condom?
Oh yeah, sure. I've been
Do
with
you
so
wear-
many hookers. I've been with. I know you're a man who's been with some hookers too, and
Yeah.
you've never paid for it, have you?
No, never.
Yeah,
no
sure,
hookers.
that's right. Of course he has. But you were married, so you have God knows you've paid for it. But anyway, now, of course you come with a condom on there. Actually, the last time and the thing is, she like disinfects my cock first with I don't know what. I think she's using Orange Glow or Cheetos because when I come home it's yellow. But well, that's maybe because she's Asian. But anyway. Because in Amsterdam, it's like 50. You know, the first time I went to Amsterdam, I had this horrifying incident, which happened, which they did in the Deuce Bigelow movie. This blonde with these long boots, like from the knee to the foot. I'm like, fuck her, and I grab her, and the leg came off.
Oh.
And I was mortified because generally 2 arms and 2 legs is usually just what I'm looking for. And she goes, I had an accident at Euro Disney. Do you want some of your money back? Because I couldn't come when one of the legs was gone, and I was mortified. And then they did that in Deuce Bigelow, so I guess I'm not the first person that happened to.
Did you take your money back?
No, I didn't. I felt bad for her.
Did you keep fucking her?
No, it kind of went limp. That's about it. The leg coming off just did not please me. She was beautiful. She was blonde, and then she was up. It was a spiral staircase, so the leg worked well, but it was horrifying.
Did they
and
play?
then I go, is anything else going to come off after the leg came off?
I don't know how you keep a rod in a condom. I'm fascinated with you guys that can fucking
Oh
condoms.
yeah, absolutely.
Jim
yeah.
can, of course. Sam has done it.
Yes,
You
many
can't
times.
come with a condom.
Ah,
on?
my dick! It's like a slug. Can you wear a rubber, Troy?
Yeah, of course.
Oh wow.
Now, do you Phil? Do you wear a condom every time because you're
With
paying for sex?
you mean with hookers? Yeah, all the time with hookers. Yes. But
Yes.
if I pick up a girl somewhere, I'm not gonna wear a condom. I don't.
Yeah,
care.
but how often is that really happening?
What does that mean?
What is this? A guy, where is he? Is he in some bunker? Where is he? Seriously, where is he? Is he in the witness protection program? What's going on here? Where is he?
I'm in
Chicago.
I'm in
Why?
Chicago.
Why are you in Chicago?
I was working in Chicago last night, and so I'm here doing the show this morning, but I have to do it out of Chicago.
Okay, all right, I'll accept that.
You know.
Do you let him play with your ass?
No, I don't.
The massage?
No, that's not for me.
No?
No, I don't.
You're not
Why
into
do you-
analingus at all?
No, certainly not.
Not even a finger in there?
No, the only time I ever had a finger in there was when I went to the urologist, and I'm still not pleased about that. I used to have this Russian urologist with these big hands, and it was very painful. But he died, and now there's an Asian guy working there. Once again, the small hands.
Nice slender fingers.
Yeah, don't go to a urologist. But this is a tip, boys. Don't ever go to a urologist that's got big hands because it's just not a pleasing circumstance. You might enjoy that, but I do not. I wasn't prepared. I literally wasn't prepared. I mean, I was like fisted. It was
Never again.
Never. Well, every 6 months, but unfortunately, that's for medical reasons.
So your health is good.
Yes, it is very good.
You go often. That's smart.
I go to every doctor. I had a colonoscopy a couple of weeks ago. Get everything taken care of.
Do you have to pay for that out of pocket, or do you have insurance?
I have insurance.
Because a lot of times, if you want tests, there's tests I want to get just to make sure everything's good, but you got to pay for them because the insurance is like, well, you don't need to scan for this yet or for that.
Well, God knows I
Right.
didn't want the colonoscopy, but this was the third one that I had. So, and of course, nobody would come and pick me because I have no family or friends. But I had to wait while somebody came to get me.
How come you have
Why
no
don't- yeah,
family
how
or
come-
friends?
Why don't you
Phil,
tell
like-
me? You already said about the friends part. You get the friends part, the family part. Because there's nobody. My mother died. My father's in Florida, and there's nobody else. Just
But
me.
you've interacted with so many people, Phil. Like you've seen people
What?
coming up,
I'm like
coming
looking
down
at
in
it.
the middle.
Can he see us? Can he
Oh,
see?
yeah.
I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to know though. How does a guy like you, who interacts with so many people and has such a long storied career, you have guys like Norton and Florentine who have all these great stories about you coming up. How can you get to this point in life and have no friends?
You tell me. I don't know. I don't know. When I was younger, I was not a nice man, I guess I should say, and I may have. Instead of burning bridges, let's say I burned transportation systems. And as I get older, I guess I get calmer and gentler. I don't really scream and I did a show on Saturday it was a 50th birthday party for a Puerto Rican plumber. And there were like 40 kids there and like 30 Latin people, and I killed. It was totally clean.
It was great.
And then I start going, how many people here have satellite radio? And of course, none of them even had radios, so it didn't work as far as that goes. But I mean, I'm kinder and gentler now.
But that's usually
but a
a
minute
disastrous
ago-
gig.
I did really well.
Yeah.
And they had a Latino comic who bailed that was going to do it for free.
Who, J.J. Ramirez?
No, maybe. I don't know who it was. And it was at the Westport Inn, where the treehouse used to be.
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
nothing going on there now at all. It's like they're rebuilding the whole place.
At least
but-
it was a place, though, and not a living room. Like a lot of times, birthday parties are at
Right,
somebody's
right.
fucking house.
Yikes.
Right.
Phil, a minute ago, I mean, I believe you that you're kinder and gentler, but a minute ago you said that on your birthday your car mirror got knocked off and you went into a bodega and threatened to kill
Well,
everybody.
somebody damaged my property.
Oh,
I think that isn't that not acceptable?
Well, I don't know why you would think that people in the bodega
Because it was right in front of the bodega, and they probably saw it. They were like looking outside there. They were probably selling crack in that bodega. We'll let him hit the Jew's car. We'll let him destroy the Jew's car, and then.
It's an anti-Semitic attack.
It was an anti-Semitic attack. Yes.
Do you have any gigs coming up?
Yes, I do. I'm working with Bob Levy this Saturday at Tiff's.
Oh, I love Bobby. Where's Tiff's?
Tiff's in Morris Plains, New Jersey.
How's he doing? I know
Jim,
he's.
you've been there before, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it like December 21st.
Have you been there before?
Yeah.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be December 20th and 21st at Fat Boys Comedy Club in Houston, headlining there.
Okay.
The last
Nice.
time I went to Houston, I was with Sam Kinison, Bill Hicks, and Otto and George. So
Wow.
they were all dead. So I hope nothing happens to me this time. I got off the plane and Kinison gave me a hit of acid. And I don't remember doing shows. I came home with money. We may have robbed 7-Elevens. I'm not really sure what we did, but I did come home with money. And those guys are all dead, so I hope I don't have a problem there.
What year is that? That's early 90s
I don't
or late 80s?
Yeah, it was in the 80s. It was in the 80s. It was a long, long time ago. He cost me a room once, Kenneth, and these mob guys go, we don't think this guy's, we don't like him. If he doesn't wait in your car, we're going to kill him, and we're not going to pay you. So I put him in my car with a vial of weed. It was a tremendous, he smoked it all. He smoked the whole thing, and they did not find him amusing.
They didn't.
No, they did not.
Phil's one of the acts, like, I can watch him over and over again. I love watching him because he'll snap on stage. He's angry with the audience.
It's all like working off the crowd now. It's all like screaming and carrying on now. It's all more of that kind of stuff now. Like I have a website, Corporate Roaster. It's all about that kind of stuff now.
Let's go to that website and see it. I have not seen your website.
I still remember some.
Selman.com, Corporate Roaster.
I still remember some of your jokes.
What were they?
I don't know. If I tell him and he's still doing them, he's going to be mad.
Oh, yeah,
Do you remember,
that's true.
do you remember my impression of a frog accountant?
Yes,
Yep.
a frog accountant.
Frog accountant. Debit, credit. Debit, credit. Thank you. Save for the end. That kills when there's an accountant in the audience.
Because he would do that joke. That's what he would. Just save it for the end. Like
I still say that. Is this not the best show in wherever the hell I am? And then I might add, I did a show in some inbred place in Newburgh on Thursday, and some guy's very vague about what he does for a living. I go, what do you do, paint houses? And then I go, that's a reference to the movie The Irishman. And this woman goes, what's the name of the Irishman movie? I go, it's called The Irishman. After the third time, I'm not dealing with a lot of, oh, there it is, comedian Phil Selman is for the professional corporate roaster. There it is.
Do you prepare before you corporate roast?
Yeah, I prefer any kind of a roast. When birthday,
Yeah.
they give me stuff about the people. I'll do. I prepare. I work on the stuff.
Yeah, they're not. It's hard to do when everyone knows each other and you're the only comic. That's a rough one to do. Jeff Ross is good at those too. Just going in there.
Jeff Ross, who used to come to the Phil Selman roasts, and we would boo him off, and now he's the roast master general.
Oh, you guys are booing
Yeah,
off?
he used to come. Yeah, you guys both came to my parties. Remember?
I remember those,
Phil
yeah.
Selman birthday parties. I had to stop having them because there were no more friends left.
Yeah, does Jeff Ross still hang out with you and go like, oh, I remember the old days. You guys would boo
No,
me.
I just
It was
bother.
all-
It upsets me he's so successful. That's worse than Adam Sandler about Jeff Ross.
Really?
Why?
Jeffrey Lipschitz, because he's it should have been me.
You think he
Jeff
could have
Ross-
Jeff's career?
I'm better than him. Fine, I'm better at roasting people than he is.
Yeah, but he's very, very famous for it. I mean, when you think
You had to
roasting,
add that third fucking very in there, didn't you, Sam?
He is good. Jeff's a good roaster.
He's very likable too. Maybe
It's
that's
Are you
what it
saying
is.
I'm not likable, Florentine?
I mean,
I
I'm
think you
surprised-
are.
I'm surprised you were able to get corporateroaster.com and that Jeff Ross didn't already
That's
own
right.
it. It's almost one of those things. Like I'm sure there have been situations you've been in where a business would hire you to be the roaster, and they're like, "Oh, we got this guy Phil Selman. He's going to come in
I
and roast
actually have
us."
people thinking I'm going to bring chicken. Seriously.
I figure.
Like I'm fucking Kenny Rogers. Fucking Kenny Rogers Selman. Yes, the roaster. Yeah, what do you want that the dark meat or the white meat?
I figured that they would come to you and they'd be like, "Oh, he's going to do like what Jeff Ross does."
I was doing what Jeff Ross does before fucking Jeff Ross.
Oh, I
When he
don't
was
know.
Jeffrey Lipschitz.
Okay, well, all I
That's
know
his
is
real
when
name.
It is, yes.
When I see on TV, I see Jeff Ross. I see he's got historical roast. He's got a Netflix show roasting. Did you know?
No, I did not. I don't have Netflix. That's why I went to the movie theater to see The Irishman. I don't have Netflix.
Where'd you see
Oh,
it?
you should get Netflix.
I saw it in the movie. They actually showed it in the movie theater in Suffern where I live.
Oh, yeah.
And they filmed it on that street. They actually
Oh.
filmed there, like when you were going and shaking down different businesses, so you could see the marquee in the background. And then everybody claps every time. I mean, come on, give me a fucking break. Nobody knows. Who cares? Like it's like one of those big old theaters, like there was
Yeah.
a vaudeville theater.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah,
you can
so,
see the
yeah.
theater.
So I was
in
playing
the
there. Yeah, you
actual
can see
shot.
the marquee in the background. They film a lot of movies. They did the Meyerowitz, the one with Adam Sandler and Ray Romano, the Meyerowitz thing.
Oh, that was very good.
Yeah, they film a lot of stuff because it looks like
That was good.
looks like an old town. Woody Allen, I remember, he filmed Zelig there, and I
Oh.
walk up, and I go, "You're Woody Allen." He goes, "No, I'm not." Of course, it was Woody Allen, but that was the marrying the Asian stepdaughter days.
Didn't you book Ray Romano in the beginning?
I
too?
gave Ray Romano, Chris Rock, and Adam Sandler. I gave them all three of them their first paid gigs.
Did any of them
Do you
talk
still-
to you anymore?
No, nobody talks. Roseanne mentioned my name on the Arsenio Hall show. If I wasn't, she goes, well, if you weren't a big star, what would you be doing today? I'd be working for Phil Selman. Arsenio said, who? And she goes, I rest my case. And I tried to contact her, but I guess Tom Arnold was afraid I was going to try to steal her away from him.
Jim, you and I got to talk to Ray Romano just recently at the Irishman premiere. That was fun.
We did, yeah. Ray's
Ray's doing very, very well.
He is. He's a great actor. I mean, he's actually really good.
I never tried to get a hold of Ray Romano. Chris Rock still owes me money. He didn't make it to a gig, and I said he owes me $75. I go, I'll take a check.
How much does he owe you?
$75.
$75
I had a
bucks.
gig right outside the Lincoln Tunnel. He went to the Jersey Shore. And never made. He kept calling up and laughing because he couldn't find it. And it cost me money. Joe Vega did an hour and a half, and Nancy Parker was terrified that they were going to end up in a ravine somewhere.
How funny is Vega? Vega was one of the naturally funniest guys ever.
Great. Yeah, Joey
He
Vega.
could literally just sit on a stool and fucking. He didn't care what anybody did in front of him. He was really amazing.
Every time
He's
I
still
worked with
amazing.
him, he'd go, "This is my cousin." Because he was married, and every girl, that's my cousin.
Yeah.
Because he would always have a different girl on the side there.
Always hot too.
Yes, always hot.
Fucking Vega always had
Yes,
hot girls.
yes.
I remember
Phil, did-
another one of Phil's
go ahead,
jokes.
Jim. Yeah.
Yeah, which one?
He said, I had a dream last night. I was a tailpipe. I woke up exhausted.
Yes.
I loved it. I still remember it 15 years later.
Phil,
Yes.
do you know that Chris Rock put Jim and Chris Rock put Jim and me, Norton and me in his movie? That was fun, right, Jim?
Oh, yeah.
That High Five movie?
The
Is that what it was
top
called?
five, Yeah,
I-
top
was it?
five.
Yeah.
High Five.
Top
yeah,
five.
Top five.
Yeah, that movie made about $8. Not because of you guys.
No, I
but-
understand.
It was just
Yeah,
a fun
they
experience,
shot it
yeah.
in their studio.
Oh, they shot it here?
Yeah, me,
Yeah.
Sam, and Anthony were in it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Not,
pretty cool, man.
okay. I mean, I guess.
It was nice.
Have you tried to reach out to him?
To who?
Chris?
I
Yeah,
saw
about
him.
the money.
I saw him at a Christmas party at Stand Up New York, and he goes, "I haven't got any money. Give me a check." Give me some kind
confronted
of
him
a
about the
writing
money?
gig. I confronted him about the
You
money.
did?
Of course I did. I've been known to get physically violent when somebody owes me money. I remember Melvin George. I was going to kill Melvin George. He paid me. He owed me money, Melvin George.
How much did he owe you?
Like $100. I have it all. But, back in the days when I booked all those things, that people would have to send me the commissions, and I kept very good track of it because
You
Ross
did.
couldn't do that. Ross is
Yeah, but
busy.
Phil,
Yeah.
do you ever think that maybe it's not worth it? You
What?
know what I mean? Like maybe getting this angry is not worth
I'm
75, 100 bucks.
calmer and gentler now. As I said, I don't get as upset anymore.
I see.
I am kinder and gentler.
But
now.
you wanted your money. If you
I
got,
wanted my money.
you know.
It wasn't right. It wasn't right. They shouldn't have kept my money.
Yeah, if somebody owes you, somebody
No.
owes you.
You shouldn't be taken advantage of, I don't think.
No, I don't think anybody should. I have a guy who did body work on my car. He owes me $2,000. I'm going to get him one day. I'm waiting.
How does he owe you money if he did body work?
Because he did a bad job and I had to go pay. I hit a deer. I hit a deer in Paramus by Coles. There's no fucking deer by Coles. They must have been shopping or something. And I thought it was going to go through the windshield and kill me. I saw my light flash before my eyes, and it wasn't very interesting. And it flew like over the roof, the hood, and then it looked like I hit a person. Somebody goes, "Did you call the police?" I don't think the deer had insurance. I know it had dough. Anyway. But this guy, so he did bad work on my car, and I got a judgment. And of course, that doesn't mean you ever collect, but I'll get the money eventually. It's on the list.
Oh, you did get the judgment.
I got the judgment, but I didn't get the money. So I put him out of business. He wasn't a licensed body shop, so they came in with guns and they fined him $10,000. I put him out of business.
And he should have just paid you.
Yes, he should have. He should have just done the work the right way.
Done the work proper.
Yeah, right. He didn't match the paint. The piece was. He goes, "It's the sunlight." I go, "It's the sunlight that's showing me it's not right."
Were you happy to put him out of business?
Yes. See, the
Yes.
problem was he was an Irish body shop guy. You have to go to an Italian guy for body work. There were just certain ethnicities. You want a
Right.
Jewish accountant. You want an Italian guy who's going to kill somebody for you. There were just certain things you need certain ethnicities
Right.
for.
And Irish is not the body shop.
No, certainly not.
nationality.
He was. Yeah, he had been arrested for like drunk boating over the weekend. Never a good sign.
No, not at all.
No.
Have you ever thought, Phil, about taking some of these disputes and taking them to one of those court
Yes,
TV
I was
shows?
on People's Court. I was actually
Were
on
you?
People's Court, and I lost.
What were
I
you
was
on for?
What
literally-
happened?
I
I
was-
agreed to do to be a wedding MC for a young black couple, and I'm not a wedding MC. So they go, "You don't have to do anything. Just announce the people, the names, and maybe just get up and dance." So I always get paid up front. I have to be paid up front. And they didn't pay me up front. They go, "We're honorable people." So after about an hour, the woman comes up and goes, "We'll give you half." I go, "I need all my money." So I stayed the whole time, and when it was over, the mother started screaming, "You're a con man! You're a con man!" Started screaming at me in the middle of the wedding. So I went and filed in small claims.
Why'd you say you were a con man?
I said, I'm evidently not a successful one because you're not paying me. Because I wasn't a wedding MC. I'm still not a wedding MC. You know,
Did you not do it right? Is that what it was?
I didn't. Are you going to play the so-and-so game? No, because I'm not a wedding MC. I wore a suit. I was very professional. It was like 100 degrees outside. So I go on People's Court, and I lost because I thought they were going to let me be funny. And I brought my late friend, the Uncle Jimmy Mack, who died with...
with Tracy Morgan.
And he had nothing to do with the case, but I had a 6'5" black man as a visual. I felt it would help me. That
Oh, you guys were friends?
Yeah, we were very close friends. And I thought I was going to be funny, and she just made me look like a schmuck, and I lost. But I still got more money than I would have by going to court.
How did she make you look bad?
She just did. She didn't. They didn't side. You know.
Was it Judge Marilyn Milian?
Yes.
Where was that
I was
shot?
just
In Connecticut, like in where they do Jerry Springer. The courtroom is made out of cardboard. And I had my final words at the end, you know, with the guy. He goes, "What are your final words?" I go, "Life is all about karma. When she gets divorced and married next time, I will not come and MC that wedding."
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Do we see that, Troy?
I was looking for it.
No, you can't. You're not going to find that. I've paid people to destroy that.
Oh, it's not good.
Not my best hour.
What year is it?
It was like, I guess about 6 years ago.
I was literally, just as we were talking, thinking about how great you would be as a person.
I've
on the
always
People's
won.
Court.
I've won. That's like the only time that I always win because I put on the suit and they think I'm a lawyer. You know, it was when I graduated from college. I was either go to law school or become a comedian. Obviously, I made the wrong choice.
Did you ever get married?
No,
No girlfriend?
not at the moment. No, I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break right now.
Do you
Why is
Why are you
that?
taking a break?
Because
Yeah.
I just am. I'm a busy man. You know, I'm just a busy man. The internet dating is
That's
not
not
working as
true.
much. The internet dating is not working so much anymore. But
It's not.
I feel like in my declining years, which are like next week, I'll be looking to get married. No children, but definitely looking to get married. I was dating a 23-year-old a couple of 2 years ago.
What happened?
Wow.
I don't know. I didn't go to her high school graduation. It was over. I didn't want to meet her family. No, her college graduation. I don't know. She was too young.
Are you faithful?
Yes,
You are.
I am faithful.
So you don't go to massage parlors?
Not when I'm
with them?
involved in it. Not when I'm in a relationship.
So you hide the punch card?
I didn't have the punch card then. I have the punch card now.
It's been 2
And
years.
to tell you, it's funny. When I went there the last time, she had an eye infection, so she's wearing these big sunglasses. And I'm fucking her when she's got these big sunglasses on. It was like a scene out of a Quentin Tarantino movie. This Asian broad's wearing sunglasses, and I'm fucking her. I guess the shine off my cock was too much for her.
She had an eye infection. Fucking.
I never touch above the neck.
Of course not.
It's a hooker. It's a hooker.
I
don't want to get
understand.
diseased.
How long
No, that
usually
makes
last
sense.
with them?
Long enough, you know. And the thing is, she had the timer going, and I go, "Can you make me some food now, since there's still some time on the clock?"
Do you kiss them?
No, well, not that one, but you know,
Some girls you
I
love.
have kissed hookers in the past, but you know,
Yeah, me
not
too.
in recent.
You go
times.
down at them?
No, certainly not. Why? You don't do. No, you don't.
I
go,
have, sure.
No,
Yeah.
you're one step above me
I
when it
have
comes to
in
that
my
guy.
life,
I don't
yeah.
go down on them. I don't.
So you go to the same one every time?
Well,
the
this
same
one I've
girl?
gone to 3 times. But now, you know, I wanted to go out. I said, "It's my birthday. We should go out." And I said, "Oh, you only want me to see you when I'm paying you." I got nasty with her.
You did?
What did you say? What did she say when you said that we should go out? It's my birthday.
She said yes, but then I don't think she speaks English very well. So
But why would you get upset? That'd be like somebody coming to one of your shows and then being like, "Oh, I guess what? You only tell me jokes when I'm paying you." You'd be like, "Yeah, of course, that's my job." Like, why should she want
I
to?
think it's a different thing. Sex is a much more personal, intimate thing, as
Not
opposed
when
to
you're
as
paying
opposed to
for
my
it.
dick jokes. Are you comparing my dick jokes to my actual dick in sex? That's a different scenario, my friend. You're crossing the line wherever the fuck you are back there in that bunker that you're in Chicago.
I'm at AM 1160. Hope for your life.
Good luck to you. Anyway, hope for your life.
Hope
Is
for
that
your
a
life.
religious? Is that a religious station? Hope for
I
your.
think it might be. I don't
Okay.
know.
It sounds like a religious, slogan.
Yeah.
So you want to kind of be involved at this point with some
I'd like to get married.
25, 30-year-old woman, maybe a little,
I think
35.
40. I think 40 is
Nothing
is
over
good.
40? What about a
not-
girl with kids or no?
No, I don't. I hate kids. I'm not a man. I don't want kids. I've gone out with women with kids, but I don't want somebody.
Right, you would. So you wouldn't marry a girl that has kids?
Not unless she had a lot of money.
Okay.
But a
As
40-year-old.
long as she can support those kids, and they're not my responsibility.
What's the oldest you'll date? Oldest woman you'll date?
46 and a half.
46 and a half?
Yeah.
But if you dated someone who's 46 and a half, would you still want to fuck 30-year-olds or 25-year-olds?
No,
or would you be okay?
no. The problem is after 6 months I get bored. That's just the way it is. I always get bored, and that's like my friends who are all married. Oh, that's just the way it is. Well, that's why I don't want to get fucking married.
Yeah.
Because I got bored with a 23-year-old after 6 months, and I just had to end that.
But the single life gets boring too. Like the new pussy idea, like it does get boring after a while too. Just hunting, and then it's like there's so much downtime and periods of loneliness. You're like, this is not great either.
He doesn't have to hunt though. He's got the punch card.
Yeah, the punch card makes it easier.
Oh, the porn. The hunting. The porn subsidizes the hunting.
Do you
So just
do you go to
masturbating.
different ones, different girls at the massage parlor? Or
I've
you
been to the
just,
same one for 3 times there, but next
but
time
they
I-
don't mind if you go to a different one, have sex with a different one.
next time it'll probably be a different one. I think. 'Cause now that she showed her true colors, that she only wants me to pay her.
But that's what the
Because
relationship
she's a paid
is, though.
hooker, because she's a whore. But still, I like to fantasize my
That they like you.
my pretty woman fantasy.
Yeah.
You thought she'd go out.
You go out with me, and then
On
my
your
friend goes,
birthday.
"Don't go out with her. The guys are going to hit you over the head and steal your car." I go, "Please, it's not that sophisticated."
Oh, they think she'll set you up.
My friend thinks, I'm not going to get set up. I'm not. She's got more to worry than I have to be concerned of her.
So why
I
don't
like
you
the-
want to? You want? Sorry, Sam. Do you want an Asian wife or a girlfriend, or you don't care about?
I like it.
ethnicity?
I just have this Asian fetish. I
You
like
do?
these sharking videos where they rip off their clothes though in the streets in China.
I've seen those, yeah.
It really pleases me.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
It's tough. I like that you were talking to your friend about her though. It makes me feel like you have like feelings for her. That's very romantic. That you were sitting there with your friend going, "Yeah, I'm going to ask her out," and your friend was giving you this advice. That's very sweet, Phil.
Thank you.
Were you hurt when she said no?
Yes.
You are. How did she say no?
No.
I mean, she just came out with no.
Yes. It didn't even get beyond that point. We just didn't really go into any severe details there.
But you wouldn't
I mean,
like that
Norton, have
anyway. You
you-
wouldn't waste your time with that because the girl, you know that when she goes back, she's gonna be fucking somebody. So why don't you go on a dating site?
No, I have done the dating sites.
you
Like
have?
I was actually dating a girl who was Chinese, who cleaned my house the best anybody ever did. The sex was good. She paid for everything, but she did work at a massage parlor, and she lied to me from the beginning. So that bothered me. If she was honest from the beginning, it would have been okay. But
So you're okay with some girl working at a massage parlor jerking
as long as
guys
she's
off?
bringing home a paycheck, I don't care whose cock she's sucking.
See, that would make me jealous. It wouldn't make you jealous.
No,
No?
because
Wow.
that's business.
But then do you kiss her when she comes home?
Only if she washes her mouth.
That would drive me crazy. So, like during the day, you'd be like, she could be fucking somebody right now. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't bother you.
I dated when I was in my 20s. I dated a very, very high class hooker that I met at a comedy workshop, who was a Playboy bunny, and who had like fake tits. I think she was one of the first people that had fake tits. I didn't even realize at the time. And I would drive her to places when she would fuck people, and she would go, "Oh, I fuck you because you're so good." And I went out with another one who was a dominatrix who didn't charge me.
How long did you date them for?
The first one probably for about a year. The second one for about 6 months. But she was the second one was the alcohol bisexual bulimic coke dealer.
Oh,
A lot of issues going on there.
yeah, that's a lot of baggage. All those.
Like
one of those
I
things
would
is
take
hard.
her out to dinner and she would order a lobster. I said, "You're going to throw it up. Just have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich."
Phil, when you're dating these sex workers, do you like to hear the
When
stories?
I'm dating these sex workers, it sounds like an episode of Dateline. What the fuck? When you're dating these sex workers.
That's what they are. They're
Nah,
sex
but I don't
workers,
really
and you
date. I only
them.
dated like one or two. I haven't made it a
That's
habit
true.
of
You
dating.
just told us too.
Yeah, but that was like a million years ago. That was a very,
Okay,
very, very
but
long time ago.
My question is, when you were dating these sex
When you have.
workers,
Yes.
yeah,
It didn't
do you-
bother
do you-
me. No, I
do
don't
you
care.
like them to tell you the stories? Do you have a bit of a cuckold
no,
thing
I don't
going
want to
on?
talk about my stories either. I don't want to talk about my bad shows. I want to hear about their bad fucks. We'll call it even.
So, what year did you start?
Well,
I started in 1981.
It was 81. I just saw a picture. It might have been Joey Cola on Facebook, but it was a great picture from like the old East Side Comedy in 1981. Actually, it was fucking Eddie Murphy and what was his name? Woods. Bob Woods.
That was the first death that bothered me. I was very close to Bob Woods.
I never met him. He died.
He was
I think
a great guy.
Before he died in the late 80s.
He died
right?
at the Carousel in Ocean City. He died in 1988.
Yes, but Otto used to talk about him all the time.
I loved Bob Woods, and I worked with Eddie Murphy too. Eddie Murphy tried to have me thrown out of the comic strip once.
Did you think that he was going to make it, Eddie
No,
Murphy, when
sir,
you saw him?
Of course not. I never thought anybody was going to make it. I saw Star Wars in a sneak preview. I go, this isn't going to be successful. What do I know? I know absolutely nothing. And then myself and Bob Woods, we went to Eddie Murphy's house. He lived in Alpine. I used to have a room called Susie's. I think that was before both of your times. But and Eddie Murphy lived like up the road, and he had a big gate around the house, and he had a camera, and he goes, Bob Woods, you're allowed in my house. Phil Selman, I don't want you in my house, you motherfucker. So I'm glad to see that the man became successful and still dislikes me.
So he didn't let you in the house?
He did not let me. He did not let me in the house.
No.
Well, Phil, you probably thought you were going to make it, though, right?
I never thought I was going to make it. I never thought I was going to make it. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay. So you're not 100%
this is the
off.
pinnacle. This is the pinnacle of success for me right here. This is the biggest thing I've done. And you guys laugh.
Yeah.
So the picture.
Have you ever? I was going to ask you, Jim.
Yes.
If you have ever developed like girlfriend feelings for any of the many women of the night, or people of the night, we'll say.
Yes.
That you've been with in
Many
your time.
times.
Have you?
Oh, many times. I fall in love.
It just happens. You can't.
Yes.
What can you do?
Yeah, because then you think like, oh, they like me. They really,
Yeah.
they really like me. And
I
it's-
liked them. Like I
yeah,
never thought
yeah.
they were shitty or disposable. Like I always liked sex workers. Like I have affection for them. I always
Have
wanted
you
to go out to eat with them, and I loved them.
Have you gotten turned down by people? Like, have you tried to cross that line to go from client to boyfriend or whatever?
I have, but again, eventually I just get too jealous. I can't do it. I've had a few that were willing to go out over the years. And it's usually interesting, and like I'll always talk after. They would come over. I would always hang out for an hour or two and talk and hang out. Like I loved hanging out with them after. And hey, you hungry? You want to grab some food? Like let's just. It almost like it felt like a real date after a while. Like you want to just go out and do something normal. But yeah, after a while, it just got to be. I was too jealous.
Yeah, I mean, I would drive me crazy.
Yeah, once you really like somebody, at first it's kind of cool that they like you for real and they're willing to spend time with you. That's not like work. But then once that gets old, then all of a sudden you really like them, and you think you want to move it forward. You get too jealous.
The first time that like they missed something that you were doing or some kind of plans with you, and you wanted them there, and it's because they're off having sex with somebody else for money, is when it would start to get like, oh, I don't like this.
The first time you're like, hey, I was trying to call you, and she comes home and she has tapioca on her shirt. You're like, oh, that's right, you were at work.
But that wouldn't bother you, Phil? That wouldn't bother Phil?
No.
I don't know. If I know from the beginning, I don't. If they lie to me, afterwards. Like I used to go to this place. There used to be a place in Patterson called the Blue Goose, and it was like a go-go bar. And once again, 120 a pop there. And I used to I had sex with all of them there. And they all used to text me. They all wanted me to go out with them, but that I just didn't.
It was
Brazilian. That was when I was in my Brazilian phase.
Sure.
I went from Brazilian girls to Asian girls, and I've pretty much run out. I don't know what's next. There's no ethnicity left. I
How
had
about
the
white
Indian
girls? Black
I've
girls?
exhausted all the white.
Yeah.
I've exhausted all the white girls and the black girls. I've been been with every ethnicity. I've never been with an American Indian, but I was with a girl from India and.
Never
smelled like
Native
curry.
American.
Smelled like curry. It wasn't pleasing.
Okay, so was it?
She smelled like a cab driver, basically.
Oh my God!
So
now
how
you're
much
telling
how much money you think you've spent on hookers? Would you say if you had a guess in your life? Massage parlors, hookers, all that
A
stuff.
goodly amount. A goodly amount.
50 grand.
Probably enough to put a kid through college for possibly back in the days when it was.
So why don't you go back on the dating site? I mean, it's free, isn't it? Just to go on Tinder or
jump on Tinder,
They were
yeah.
all the same. I haven't tried Tinder. I'm ready to try Tinder.
on Tinder.
Well, how about 90 Day Fiance? Did you ever see that? You
Yeah,
could
I don't
maybe.
know. I didn't like that one. I don't know. I didn't care for that show. I watched it and I didn't really. Care
It
for
didn't
that.
resonate.
No,
Okay.
it did not.
Why?
I don't know. It seems a little contrived.
Some of it is, yeah. The original, the older ones, where you didn't know if the couple was going to work or not work. That kind of. Now it feels like every one is a
Right.
train wreck. It's like, all right, I like a train wreck, but I like to see a good one too, because then that makes the train wrecks a little less predictable, as opposed.
But
to...
what do you think? You're gonna try Tinder?
Yeah, I'm going to try Tinder.
Tinder's
I
a
hear
little
lot-
for young people, though. Phil, I don't know if it's going to work.
Are you saying I'm old, Jim?
No, but I'm just saying.
Tinder is for
That's
young
a good
people.
You
point.
got to get Bumble is the one you're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, most. Yeah.
Well,
I am 48 years old on my dating profile.
Of course you
Oh,
lie.
yeah.
But I
yeah.
look young.
What?
I look. I'm
You look like you're in your 40s,
I'm
yeah.
well preserved.
What?
What?
But you're at. You're
Well,
at.
he's looking through the fucking periscope of a submarine. You can't see good from there. Look at that fucking. He's in a bunker. It's in a bunker.
I've met Phil. At no point in my life, I've met Phil in person once, and I'm talking to him here. At no point have I ever thought he was in his 40s.
I think Phil looks.
How old do you think I will? How old do I look there, Sam?
I would say mid to late 50s.
Fuck you. But anyway, I don't want to fuck you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a difference there.
Probably inching more towards late, but go on.
Whatever. It doesn't. He hurt me now. He's hurt me now. At least Voss isn't here this time. I'm very pleased that Voss is not here.
I would love Voss too, but I love when my old friends are all together. It makes me happy.
I know Voss longer than everybody. I have to say, I knew Voss introduced me to Ross. I know Voss.
Did you know Voss when he was doing drugs? Or?
Yeah, he was funny when he was doing drugs.
So you did know
he was
him.
much funnier when he was doing drugs.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that he let a guy suck his dick for drugs?
Shocker.
You're not surprised?
Don't most people that do drugs like that willing to do stuff like that? Yeah.
Did you know who was his friend that he used to, Frankie Bastille?
Frankie Bastille.
I didn't know him.
I knew Frankie Bastille. The first time we worked together, we drive down to the village, and he gives me this thing to smoke because I thought it was pot. You know, I've always been a big pot smoker, and I smoke it, and I literally feel sizzling in my head and see like stars. I go, what was that? He goes, that was angel dust. Angel dust? I don't want to smoke angel dust. And I was not happy about that. The Keith Richards of comedy, he was
Frank Bastille.
Frank
Yeah,
Bastille,
that
yes.
way. Voss talks about him a lot. There's guys like him and Woods. They died, I think, right before I got in, and I just.
Well, Bastille lasted a pretty long time. I mean, he was a heroin addict.
Was he into the 90s? Did he last?
Yeah, he lived into the
okay.
90s. He was the one who actually said he was going to die of cancer and then went on the Tonight Show and then he didn't die. He was like the first person to do that scam. Or maybe
Really?
the first and last person to do that scam.
He said he had cancer?
Yeah, he said he had cancer and then he got all this stuff and then he didn't die.
That's pretty smart.
Do you still smoke pot?
Yes, I still smoke pot.
Yeah, you smoked from back in the day, from the beginning.
I haven't had a drink in 16 and a half years since I got arrested with Jimmy Walker of Good Times fame.
Why'd you get
That was my
arrested?
second drunk driving.
Oh, you were driving him?
No, we were working together. He's just bad luck. It was in Hudson, New York. That was my second drunk driving arrest. I had it spaced out like a bankruptcy.
Was it before or after the gig?
It was after the gig. I picked up two girls after the gig, and I was going to go to this house next door and have sex with them. And then the neighbor, the other person goes, "I don't know him. He can't come to my house." So the girl goes, "I live a mile from the place." So I drive them, and a cop pulled me over immediately.
Oh.
And I was not, shall we say, a cordial person. And they put the handcuffs on so tight that my wrists were black and blue for like 2 months.
So wait, they cuffed you, and you didn't get to fuck the girl?
No, and they're going, they were ugly. I was going to fuck both of them.
Did you ever go back and fuck them?
I went back, and then they were ugly, and I didn't fuck them.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't had a drink in 16 and a half years.
All right,
You
so it
still
worked
hang
out.
out with you still hang out with J.J. Walker?
God, no. That guy is
Oh.
just bad. Every time I hear the theme from Good Times, I feel the handcuffs. It's very disturbing.
I don't think I've ever done a gig with Jimmy. Well, I've met him. I think we did the Louis Anderson show back in like 94, 95. I don't think I've ever spent any time with him, though. It was just that.
And the first time I worked with him, I made the mistake of asking for an autograph, and it actually says in his rider, no free autographs.
Really?
Because Roger Paul handles him, Jimmy Walker.
Oh, Roger handles him?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So how much did he charge you?
I wasn't going to pay him. Unless there was a blowjob involved, he wasn't getting any money.
Did he do the autograph?
I didn't take the autograph. I didn't want it. I wasn't paying him any money.
Oh, he said it will cost you?
He said it's going to cost you. He goes, I have to pay for it.
Wow. What a
I guess
dick.
he's trying to make that, Jimmy Walker was, Good Times was such a big show, and all those guys, I mean, he was like in Richard Pryor's era, all those guys knew each other, and I guess he just didn't make the money he wanted to make.
Well, the last season of that show, I heard he made $1 million.
Did he?
But he's got a bit of a gamble. Allegedly has a bit of a gambling issue, I believe.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he works all the time. But the thing is, I did another show with him somewhere, and he's selling all the merchandise. And he had a big poster of like all the people back, during the Good Time show.
Sure.
And then some young kid goes, "Which one were you?" And he points to the young girl because he doesn't look anything like he did in those days.
That's a long time ago.
That was 1975 when that show went off, I believe.
Wasn't he doing films too? Jimmy Walker was doing movies.
But he was in Airplane. He was the squeegee guy cleaning the front of the cockpit there.
That's right. It's kind of like a throwback. He also had a few. I want to say a couple of. Didn't he do a Cosby movie or something too? Like he had a good run in the 70s, and I just didn't go much beyond that.
Artie Fletcher was just touring with Jimmy Walker.
Oh, was he?
A friend
as he should be.
What do you mean by
The
that?
Legends of Comedy. Artie Fletcher, another one of my creations. I'm waiting for him to die. When he's dead, it'll be the trifecta.
Why are you mad at Artie
Because
Fletcher?
he's never used me anywhere. I created Artie Fletcher. I created him.
Oh, so he has gigs and he won't use you in the gigs.
No.
Do you find that a lot of people don't pay it forward?
Yes. Or no? Or no?
They don't.
Yeah, no, they do not.
They do not.
They do not.
Yeah,
They do
yes,
not.
they do not.
They take and take, but they don't give when it's their turn to give.
Right. Nobody remembers the.
Sure.
Still to this day, at least once or twice a year, somebody says, "I ran into Adam Sandler and he asked about you." He doesn't want to actually directly speak to me, but he keeps asking about me.
Yeah, but see, he put like Chips Cooney in one of his movies.
I know.
How is Chips Cooney?
I haven't seen him in a while, but you put Chips
He's
in.
all right. He's still around. He's okay.
Yeah.
I love him.
You never know. He might still put you in one of his movies.
But
Adam
do you think
Sandler.
that part of that might be because you didn't pay anybody very well? And
I
so,
paid enough with the paying everybody. I paid nobody. No, I couldn't put a gun to anybody's head. If you didn't want to do it, you didn't have to do it. But I did a gig with Jim. We did a gig in Rhode Island at the place where the people died in the fire.
You and I?
You and I did a
station.
gig there at the station.
Oh, is that why they were calling that Great White Show the second worst thing that ever happened there?
Something like that. Because I remember I said, I go one match and this whole place goes up. Because it was all wood. The whole place was made out of wood. But you and I did that. And we were in Springfield with Vinnie Brand the weekend before that. And I remember I picked up a girl and you told me that you were listening to the wall and jerking off.
I don't remember. What a memory you have.
I remember everything. I remember everything.
We did that gig?
Yeah, in Springfield. We were it was for that Giggles and Bits.
Irvin
Casey.
Casey also had Coast to Coast Comedy. It's the first paid gig I ever did. It was a $25 check from Casey, and I guess Giggles and Bits became their thing after that.
I think you didn't do a paid gig for me before that. I think
no. Coast to Coast was my first one.
I brought Jim to
check.
his first gig, but I remember
Jamesburg.
the guy I brought to Jim's first paid gig. He saw him at this open mic that I was running in Jersey. He saw Jim on stage, and I said, I brought this guy to open, and he saw Jim, and he took me to the back. He goes, I'm not putting that guy on stage. That guy talks about fucking his grandmother in church. He's a Nazi.
He goes,
he's a Nazi. He's not going on my stage. And I convinced him. I go, no, he won't do those jokes tonight.
He's still doing those jokes.
Wow, I didn't remember. I didn't know we did that gig where all those people died. Wow.
It was for Brian Deary. There was a guy named Brian Deary in Rhode Island. I believe he died.
So Jim was jerking off.
That's
listening?
what he said.
I
That's
probably
what he
was.
said.
That sounds like
the image has always still been in my mind ever since there, and it is slightly disturbing. But
Wow.
And I didn't even fuck the girl. I think she was just like whining or something. I don't know. I don't believe she was just moaning like she wanted to get away from me. It wasn't even fucking me. You know?
Wow, I don't remember that gig at all. Did we go up together? Do you remember? Or did we meet there?
You and I went up together. Vinnie Brand drove himself, and I've never played the Stress Factory. I might add. Vinnie Brand he used Dennis Ross, but I've never played there. But
so you mad at Vinny too?
He doesn't.
He's got another room in Connecticut.
He does.
Good. That's 2 rooms I can't play. Maybe he can open up more clubs I can't play.
But don't you think that maybe it's one of those things where, like, when a young comic is coming up and just needs the work, and maybe certain people that are supposed to pay them are taking advantage.
Will you
of
stop
the
with
fact
taking advantage? What are you with the union here? I never took advantage of anybody. I fucking gave everybody work. Everybody.
But that might be why they're not. So
you know what? $50
motivated.
in 1981. $50 was worth like $53.
That might be why they're not so motivated to continue on this relationship, because they think back and they realize, like, oh, that guy really didn't do that much for me. He kind of just took advantage of the fact that I was young.
Comedians who book rooms are like child molesters in prison. They're not They're not liked. They're not well liked.
Yeah.
Look at Joe Novick.
I remember Joe. It's funny. He's a politician now or
Yeah,
something.
he failed in show business. He might as well fail in politics.
I remember I did a gig for him in Massachusetts. It's weird the stuff you remember. And I was the MC, and there was a feature and a headliner who I don't remember. I think the feature was a woman, and I took my girlfriend Tina at the time with me. And Joey came up last minute because someone dropped out, and he's like, "Hey man, I got to take your room." I'm like, "But I'm supposed to have a room." He's like, "We only get 2 rooms, and I'm taking it because the other guy dropped out, so you have no room." So he left me and my girlfriend without a room, and I remember the feature let us stay with her. She got like 2 beds in her room. I remember that. I just wish I remember who she was. But yeah, that was my memory of Joey.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Yeah.
Now look, one thing with Phil, he didn't pay great money, but you knew, like I said before, you knew going in.
You always got paid.
You could have turned down the gig if you didn't like the money. And I had no problem with it. I'm like, whatever he's making, he's been around a long time. He's giving me an opportunity.
You always got food and drinks.
Yeah, we got food and drinks, and it was like $70.
We made a living doing Selman gigs. John Shula had a couple of gigs.
Yeah.
Phil. But those are the guys who I fucking made my living with. And Bob Levy took me everywhere, and Jim took me everywhere.
But there was a lot of people that were mad at Phil and his partner Dennis because they didn't pay and they felt like they should get more money. And Phil's like, look, this is what the pay is. Either fucking do the gig or don't.
Right.
See, we weren't headlining. Me and Jim back in those days were like hosting and maybe middling. So you didn't care. $50, $75. I was happy to be getting any comedy money. I didn't give a fuck.
Phil, do you think, looking back on it, that skimming off the top and taking that
I
extra
wasn't
money.
skimming off the top. Gee, what is this? This is a brooder hearing? What the fuck? Why is he badgering me? Why is this fucking guy bothering? Guy who I never fucking had any dealings with is fucking torturing me. Why? What did I ever do to you, Roberts?
Do you think it was worth it?
Jesus. I hope you never get out of that fucking studio. I hope they fill it with water when you're done with the show. Jesus Christ. I don't like him. I don't like him. I just don't like him.
Well, Phil, you can see Phil with Bobby Levy.
At Tiff's and Morris Plains at 9 o'clock this Saturday.
This Saturday night, that's a great show. And when Christmas
and then up December 20th and 21st at Fat Boys in Houston. And then December 24th at the Broadway Comedy Club, the Jewish Christmas Eve shows.
And Jim is touring Creeps with Kids.
Yeah, this Friday night, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Saturday, Broadway, New Jersey. CreepsWithKidsTour.com.